Howdy, folks. Welcome to episode 10 of Great Ideas with Great Minds. Today, follow me down the rabbit and the wormhole into the matrix as we look at escapism and the ways that we escape, the ways we check out instead of checking in to the now. Whether it be the great books, the maps, the comic books, the sporting legends, the movies, the video games, the plays, the songs, you name it, it exists. And it all offers a way to get out. What is now almost $1 trillion industry over thousands of years, or more than that, is, well, millions of ways for you to leave where you are right now by picking up a book, turning on your TV screen, clicking that mouse, and doing what you and your ancestors have always done, hearing the next great song, seeing the play, following a great romance, seeing the escapades and the debacles of galactic and intergalactic battles, of fantasy and fiction, of the harsh realities, all the things that add some flair to what can seem to be a mundane and mellow, gray and boring existence. And yet, should we be leaving it? Because every time we check out, it raises the question, why do we check out? Because heck, when it comes to checking out, we're getting pretty good at it. Hence the reason that VR continues to skyrocket with potential. Because now, we're facing a future where, just as you're doing now, you can go in a whole different reality with the sight, the smell, the taste, the touch, everything else that you have in real life. Doing something else. Putting yourself in the shoes of some future soldier or some great politician or, well, you can probably see where everything else goes, but the fact remains that it's almost limitless what you can do with that. And that can be good or bad. Because on one hand, it's amazing the technology that we've developed. I mean, heck, I was just on Netflix recently, and I was able to see a special where you could choose your own adventures. And so it took the whole format of having a video where I had to just watch it into engaging me and making me pick where I was going the whole time, instead of tuning out. And it made me think, imagine a future where we don't have different forms of media, whether it be your books, your movies, your videos, your board games, your songs, etc. No, where they're all an amalgamation as one. Where everything is generated by algorithms and by specially decided paths that are catered to you as the individual to thrill as you go through chills and spills of a life that is more grand and more stimulating than the one you are in now, to one where your lover is out of this world, where the things you taste are more exquisite than anything you could get on here. The things you touch leave you with goosebumps. What you hear is more beautiful than anything you can imagine. And the sights are what people would pay and die for to see. And all that would be constantly generated. Imagine that. No longer being forced to have your videos end. To have to put down the book. To see the end of the campaign of your video game. To having to close the door on that character that you love. Because you'd be the character and it wouldn't stop. And now, tell me how anything that I just described for you differs from your own life. Because right now, where you are, is more advanced and more sophisticated than any piece of technology that we can generate. Because Do you know where you're going? Do you know your own fate? Do you know what's around the next corner? Do you know every single experience that can be generated for yourself? Well, if you put it as the way I just did my pitch, that sounds like one heck of a video game you're in right now. So why are you trying to check out of it? Because it sounds like we're in something that's pretty amazing, and yet we're trying to be a different video game. So that makes me ask, even if you had everything accomplished by going into this grand VR escapism experience that takes you out of this one you're in right now into a more grand one, would that one get dull eventually? Would you look for the next new upgrade? For the more stimulating software? Until you're so numb with pleasure that you find that no matter how much you get, it's never enough. Always chasing what becomes now a life high, as you find that what you once enjoyed and what you thought is what you wanted, and what you thought would be the grandest, most beautiful thing, turns gray as you see new things that pervert what you once saw as brilliant or beautiful. Because I'm going to hedge my bets, and I'm going to say that VR thing's not going to make you happy. Because, well, if you haven't learned by now, as plenty have learned, the great books we read, the others have used to escape, the movies we've used, the video games, the drugs, the songs, the plays, the culinary masterpieces, you name it, everything we've used to escape has still forced people to be back in the moment because it all ends. And you're forced to be here. So, it begs a question of, why aren't we here? And so, I say all this because, as a YouTube channel, looking for ideas, and looking how to propel the future, and to reshape the future, I see it as a moral obligation to ask and question the future, because some things seem grand, and yet, sometimes the grandness is an illusion. It's the man behind the curtain that's bland, and we don't even see that. We're so caught up with the great image in front of us that we don't realize that we're missing everything that's actually in us. And so, when you get ready to cash in everything, to check out on more than a grand cruise, but as the lifetime long cruise on a VR or advanced VR lifetime, and say, I'm done with this life because it's too boring. I don't like this mundaneness. I don't like suffering. I don't like being uncomfortable. Remember, if you can find me a book, or great adventure, or great movie, where there's not been some amount of discomfort, or trials and tribulations, has it actually survived as a great? Because maybe this is just my short-sightedness, but regardless of how great a man or woman has been, or alien if you're looking at those, do not they all face diseases, heartbreak, loss, destruction of their property, pain, all these things that you feel, and yet you're trying to be them, when in reality, you have everything that you can have. And so, maybe you're not going to have super strength, the ability to read minds, to travel super fast, to see unknown galaxies, but you get to be plugged in to your own fate and your own life. And maybe that might not have you win the Super Bowl. It might not have you being a billionaire, having the most attractive person on the planet at your shoulder. But it's also not saying that can't happen. Because I don't know what's going to happen to you. And you don't know what's going to happen to you. So, take a chance. Live it. Thanks. It's been great talking to you. Check out The Matrix, please.